Hey grade sixes. Today what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little time here and start solving problems that involve really big numbers. So first of all, we're going to basically just run through what we consider the problem solving method here that I would like you to think about every time you solve bigger problems. So first thing we need to do is just read the question. So let's just take a moment and read it. So Rabbi counted 497 names on a page in the Winnipeg phone book, which has 709 pages. If each page has the same number of names, how many names are in the phone book? The last part is your answer reasonable? So once we've read it, I think that's always a really important point to start. We want to make sure we understand it. So what I often do is I underline important things, and I always start with what am I asked to do. So the first thing I'm asked to do, and it's in part A, how many names are in the whole phone book? Okay, so how many names are in the whole phone book? What information might help me to do this? Well, first of all, Ravi counted 497 names on a page. So it's really important you understand the English language. A page means one page. So a tells us one in the Winnipeg phone book. The other important piece of information is it tells us that there's 709 pages in the whole phone book. So I think I now have an understanding of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out how many names are in the whole phone book, and there's 597 names on one of the pages, and there's 709 pages altogether. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little planning. So I'm going to just go down here. Well, if there's 497 names on one page, and there's 709 pages, I could do 497, and I could just add it over and over again, 709 times. But that would take forever, and I'm not so thrilled about solving it that way. So one thing I know about multiplication is you can be thought of as repeated addition. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 can be thought of as 3 times 4. I've got 4 groups of 3, which gives me 12, which is the same as adding 3 4 times. So one thing I could do is I could think of this as 497 times 709. So there's my planning. I've come up with a way on how to do this. Now the next thing that I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to do it. Okay, once I've made the plan, I'm going to just go for it. So in this case, I'm going to take out my calculator, and in these big questions you can definitely use a calculator. And what I want you to do is you punch it into your calculator, and I got 352,373. That is my answer. The last part of it actually fits into the last question. You reflect back and you ask yourself, does this make sense? And the answer in this case is, well, I'm going to do a quick estimate. So for example here, 497 is really close to 500. 709 is really close to 700. Now I want to show you a little way how you can do this when you have numbers and you have a whole bunch of trailing zeros. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros that are trailing. That means they're at the ends of numbers. Okay, so the process for doing this is just do 5 times 7, which gives us 35. We're good with that. And we ask ourselves, how many zeros are there? Well, there's 4 trailing zeros, so I need to put in my 4 trailing zeros. So what's my answer? 350,000, which is really close to 352,000. So I'm feeling pretty good that I did this right. So the last thing in word problems that I'd like you to do is I want you to write what your answer means. So there's 352,373 people in the Winnipeg phone book.